let's take another look now at one of our lead stories. That's the PDP chairman, Babanga Tukuru, bowing out. Now, the tenure of Mr. Tukuru as chairman of the PDP was filled with challenges, but it appears it's become the norm for that exalted position, which is always characterized by intrigue. On our big story tonight, our political correspondent Seun Okinbaloye takes a look at Mr. Tukuru's resignation and the challenge after his exit.
Instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Other indulgences pleaded.
It may be one of the most influential political offices in the country, but it's also perhaps one of the most tumultuous. The storms that often rage over the PDP chairmanship seat always create heavy waves. For Alhaji Babanga Tukuru, the extent of the storm that has hit his office has also left the party in a rather devastated state. When he emerged at the party's March 2012 convention to take over from Abubakar Baraje, who acted in that capacity for about 4 years, many believed he was steeped to satisfy some interests. Tukuru is not a newcomer in Nigeria's politics. He was the governor of the defunct Gongola state, though just for about 3 months. Alhaji Tukuru has seen some of the biggest crises ever witnessed by the PDP. It was under him that most of the National Working Committee positions were declared void by INEC, which led to the National Convention in October 2013. It was at the event that a group of 7 agreed governors of the party staged a walkout. That again may be the first time such powerful delegation will openly walk out on a convention with a sitting president in attendance. Note that the walkout of the agreed governors also saw the emergence of a faction of the party, which was widely referred to as the new PDP. That crisis appears to be primarily the root of the troubled times that characterized the exit of Alhaji Babanga Tukuru. 5 of the 7 agreed governors of the PDP have since moved to the opposition party, the APC, followed by 37 lawmakers dealing the party ruling party a big blow, and more influential members of the party have threatened to defect. The chairman of the party is seen as a very powerful one who often wields so much power in its ranks. His influence would often force the hand of the president, sometimes turning the table against the chairman when things get sour. Critics of Alhaji Babanga Tukuru's leadership style have accused him of tearing the party apart. Take a look of when Alhaji Tukuru assumed the position. There were 23 governors in the party. As it steps down, the party is left with only 18 governors. 2 of that 18 are threatened to leave too. In the National Assembly, however, when Alhaji Babanga Tukuru took charge, there were 208 members from the PDP, but now 37 have defected and the opposition now takes the majority. This is the very first time that PDP in its 14 years of existence will lose a majority number in any arm of the National Assembly. For the Senate, the on-the-ground current seems not to be a positive one too. The next chairman of the party definitely has a lot of work to do, from pulling the party together and convincing those who had left to return to the fold. Alhaji Tukuru's successor must make sure the party stands strong in the face of an impending bashing from the fast-rising opposition party, the APC. Also, a new successor must make sure the party is well prepared for the all-important 2015 elections. The image of the party and its structure must be realigned for the task too. From history, only a few have enjoyed a smooth run of their tenure in that office, from the very first chairman Solomon La to Barnabas Gemade, and then Audu Ogbe, who took over from him in 2001, and Hamadu Ali, who became the chairman and spent about 4 years. The rest have stayed few weeks, other few months, while Babanga Tukuru lasted for just about a year and 9 months. The choice of a new chairman is another big task for the party, considering the power and influence embedded in the position. Another candidate will perhaps emerge from the northeast zone. What is yet to be seen is how the next chairman will fare in the face of daunting challenges. For the big story, Shehu Okimbale reporting for Channels Television News.
Big round of applause for this administration. Indomie instant noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Well, we'll have sports in a couple of moments. Olumide Macaulay will be joining us then.
Unveiling the new look of Guinness. Discover a colorful world of more.
Welcome to Sports News, and we start with football. Nigeria's senior national team, the Super Eagles, dropped 4 places in the January edition of the FIFA World Rankings. The Super Eagles kick-started the year in the 41st spot, dropping to the 7th place in the continent. Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana retained their spots in the 17th and 24th position to keep the 1st and 2nd spot in Africa. Algeria slipped 1 place to the 27th, while the Pharaohs of Egypt moved 10 places to the 31st. Cape Verde Islands moved 4 places to the 35th. The Eagles of Mali also moved 5 places to 40th. Tunisia, Cameroon, and South Africa complete the country's top 10. Now in tennis, 5th seed Juan Martín del Potro has paid tribute to the performance of Roberto Bautista Agut, who knocked him out in the 2nd round of the Australian Open. Del Potro, who crashed out early at the last 2 Grand Slams, said that Agut played a great match and admitted that it's tough to beat an opponent who plays at a very high level for 4 hours. Batista, whose reward is a 3rd round meeting with 27 seed Benoit Paire, twice came from a set down to prevail 4-6, 6-3, 5-7, 4-7, sealing victory in 3 hours and 53 minutes. Now also in the Australian Open, Maria Sharapova's match on the Rod Laver Arena continued in the full glare of the sun for 50 minutes. The 3rd seed finished off Italian Karen Knapp 6-3, 4-6, 10-8 to reach the 3rd round. Rafael Nadal gave the next generation a lesson in Grand Slam tennis by dismantling teenage talent Thanasi Koginakis 6-2, 6-4, 6-2 to cruise into the 2nd or the 3rd round as well. And Roger Federer also spent as little time as possible to defeat Blaz Kavcic 6-2, 6-1, 7-6 to advance to the 3rd round. That's it on Sports News. The news at 10 continues in just a moment.
Unveiling the new look of Guinness. Discover a colorful world of more.
Well, for a little bit of entertainment news, British-born Nigerian actor Chiwetel Ejiofor has been nominated for the Best Actor prize at the 86th Academy Awards for Motion Pictures, popularly called the Oscars. The nomination came for Ejiofor's role in the uploaded 12 Years a Slave, and he'll be competing against other A-list Hollywood actors, including Leonardo DiCaprio and Matthew McConaughey. To the foreign scene, the Vatican has been challenged publicly for the first time over the sexual abuse of children by the clergy at a UN hearing in Geneva. Officials faced tough questions based on their failure to release data and what they were doing to prevent future abuse. Here's Cynthia Are with the details.
Insists that the church had learned from the crisis and had taken action to prevent further abuse. Victims' advocates explained that there was still too little transparency. Last month, the Vatican refused a request from the UN's Committee on the Rights of the Child for data on abuse on the grounds that it only released such information if requested to do so by another country as part of legal proceedings. Victims say they hope the hearing, which is being broadcast live, will prompt the church to end its secrecy. Also today, the head of the UN body tasked with removing and destroying serious chemical arsenal says the process has been slowed down by security concerns. Ahmed Uzumku said the amount of chemicals transported to the Syrian port of Latakia for shipping so far was not that high. But he expressed confidence that the arms would be destroyed by the end of June. Removing the most dangerous chemicals is the first step of a UN-backed deal to eliminate Syria's chemical arsenal. Then, a spokesman for the Afghan Taliban has said it's confident of victory over NATO-led forces and already controls large areas of the country. Zabihullah Mojahed said in remote parts it was everywhere and foreign troops were scared to leave the bases. He also denied any ties with candidates in the fake presidential elections. Plus, the actress linked to French President François Hollande, Julie Gaillet, is suing the magazine that published photos of her alleged affair. Ms. Gaillet initiated proceedings against Closer for breach of privacy. Mr. Hollande decided not to sue the magazine after first threatening to. The photos plunged the presidency into a crisis which saw Mr. Hollande's current partner taken to hospital. And that's it from me. Those are the top stories on the foreign scene.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. And the main news again. President Goodluck Jonathan has sacked the service chiefs and appointed new ones. Air Marshal Alex Bade has taken over from Admiral Ola Saad Ibrahim as the Chief of Defence Staff, while Major General Kenneth Minima has replaced Lieutenant General Azubike Ihejirika as Chief of Army Staff. Also, Rear Admiral Usman Jibrin has taken over from Vice Admiral Dele Ezoba as Chief of Naval Staff, and Air Vice Marshal Adeshola Amosu takes over from Air Marshal Bade as Chief of Air Staff. And the National Chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Bamanga Tukuru, has bowed out after months of intra-party intrigue, with the PDP poised to get a new chairman next week. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Wenyato.